Hello, day 50, no Kratom. It's actually day 51, but we'll call it day 50 for the video. 50 days, no Kratom. Feeling good. Soon to be 60 days, aka 2 months. So I'll probably start just counting the months now. 1 month, 2 month. But on these videos, it's easy for me to say the days, 50 days, 63 days, 70 days. Um, Not too much has changed physically from my last video, of course. You know, I'm sleeping well, no anxiety, no depression, no. Um, every now and then I'll get a craving for kratom. Every now and then. Last night I got one. I was watching a movie with the family and I got one. And I think that's because, I would before we would watch a movie, I would take a pretty heavy dose of kratom and just chill out and watch the movie. And so I'm pretty sure that's where that craving came from. But it was quick, went away. Every time I get a craving, which it doesn't happen often, but every time I get a craving, I just tell myself in my head, like, you're not gonna go get kratom and take it. So get over it, bro. And it goes away pretty quick. Um, Working out. I've been working out every single day for probably about 3 weeks now. I probably skipped just a couple days here and there. We I had skipped Sunday because on Saturday night, me and my wife were in the ER for a few hours, from like 2 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Nothing crazy. Everything's good. But yeah, that Sunday I slept in, tried to get some sleep, and just chilled out. But exercise. You know, I always say, man, I should have worked out this hard from day one, but I had no energy. I had zero energy. But that's not an excuse. I still should have, gotten more workouts in. They were sporadic workouts, but now I've just been hitting it hard for about 3 weeks straight, so I feel so good. Somebody had asked me, what do I notice physically after the fact, because I'm going on 2 months, so I'm, kratom's out of my system, and you know, I, I I've heard it takes about a year for your body to get back to normal. Even though I feel normal now, I felt normal for probably about the last, I don't know, maybe month. You know, I felt pretty normal, maybe even longer. Watch my videos. I haven't really watched them, but I felt normal for a while. And they say it takes about a year, and I'm sure that year is probably like cravings get easier, mentally it gets easier, anxiety, because some people struggle real heavily with emotional and anxiety, depression before kratom, during kratom. So some people are going to suffer with that afterwards. I haven't. Um, I've never really struggled with that. I've had sad days for sure. I always tell my kids that because that's a big one these days. Anxiety, depression. And I tell my kids, I'm like, well, everybody gets anxious sometimes. It happens. You're going to get anxious. But, you know, does it mean that you suffer from anxiety? Not necessarily. Just sometimes as people, we feel anxious in certain situations. Same thing with getting sad. Some days you're going to feel sad. It might be 2 days in a row you feel sad. But, you know, I think you need those days that you're at 50% or less. So the good days are like, man, I feel great today. You know, and that's probably a big reason why a lot of us were using kratom or whatever you were using, because we wanted every minute of every day to be enjoyable. I know I did. And you get that good kratom high, buzz, whatever you want to call it, and then it wears off, and you're like, I like that. Let me get some more. Wears off. Let me get some more. So you're just trying to be high all day, buzzed up. And with anything, you could drink alcohol all day. You could smoke weed all day. You could pop pills all day. You could smoke fentanyl. I mean, you insert the drug, trying to get high all day, feel high all day. And that's not the way life works. You need, and you've heard this a billion times. You need the bad days to enjoy the good days, of course. But now it's getting pounded into my head by me and by life every day. Because some days I wake up, I don't have that much. I have energy lately because I've been working out. I found a way to have energy to release endorphins. I'm earning my endorphins. I'm earning it. Feels great. So good. But I think I was going off on a tangent. I forget even what the heck I was talking about. But anyway, I'll go back to people are asking me about the physical changes that I've noticed since I've quit. And I went into a pretty good detailed comment with this guy, but I wanted to share it with you guys. I would say immediately bowel movements are normal now. If anybody's taking opiates, kratom, you're constipated all the time. So to kind of mitigate that, I would take a lot of fiber and eat a lot of fruit, always. And it's funny, but subconsciously I was always pushing that on my family too. We need to eat more veggies, we need to eat more fruit, we need fiber in our life. And my kids and my wife are like, why? But me in my head, I'm like, I'm constipated. They're like, we're good. you know, but I was always really constipated. My stomach. That's another one. I don't know. My gut biome was totally off, but I really didn't get stomach pain other than like constipation. And then now, since your gut biome is back to normal and it's getting back to normal, I can feel everything that I eat. Everything I eat is just like, it doesn't mess up my stomach, but I have to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm eating. I guess in a way, not really, but but I guess the kratom masked everything in my stomach. If that even makes sense. But that's one. Bowel movements back to normal. Two, because I'm not drinking a bunch of kratom. I'm not drinking a bunch of energy drinks. I still drink some energy drinks here and there. I'll still drink some coffee, but nothing like I was. I don't feel the urge to pee all the time. That's another one. Um, Pretty quickly after I quit, I'd say about a week or two, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. For some reason, my body just felt stronger. I just felt like I feel stronger. And I wasn't working out all that much. I would do some workouts, stretching for sure. I stretch every day, but my body just felt like more solid. And I was watching this guy's video. I forget his name, but he was saying that kratom inhibits muscle growth. So it's almost like 2 weeks after I quit, my body's like, okay, let's make some muscle. I don't know the science at all. I'm not a doctor, but I just felt stronger. Now I feel way stronger. But that's one. My body felt a lot stronger. I brought this up before. Your libido. My libido came back full fledged, for sure. I'm sure my body's making a lot more testosterone. What else? What else physically? I have like a little head cold. That's why I'm coughing. I'm trying to think. My brain's not as foggy as it was before. I'd be talking to my kids and I'd say, "Oh yeah, can you pass me the?" And I'd be thinking of the word, and my son would be like, "The remote? Yeah, yeah, pass me the remote." It would take me a few seconds to think of the word. That's gotten way better. My brain's not as cloudy. Um, Man, there's just a lot. There's a lot of things. I wake up in the morning, not very groggy at all. I'll wake up And when I would take a huge dose of kratom at night. So in the morning, sometimes I'd wake up with if anybody's taken a ton of kratom the day before, you'll wake up the next day or even most of the day, you have a headache. Nothing crazy, but it's like a kratom hangover. If you ever heard that saying, I've heard that saying before. People have said that. Kratom hangover. Well, for probably about a year before I quit, I would have a kratom hangover most days because I would use so heavily at night. So in the morning, it'd be hard to wake up. I'd be real groggy. It'd take a while to wake up. Hence why I would just pound an energy drink. And then probably around 12 or 1, I'd drink another one. And then around 4 p.m., I'd drink another energy drink. So like 3 monsters a day. That grogginess has pretty much went away. And even in the gym, I see a difference in the gym. I would work out very rarely. But when I did work out, it'd be for like a few weeks. So I'd wake up in the morning and I wouldn't use kratom before the gym. I would just go to the gym, work out, and then drink protein and take my kratom. And I noticed I just couldn't wake up in the gym. I'd be yawning during my whole workout. And then now that I've been going to the gym, I'm alert, I'm awake, focused on what I'm working. So the grogginess in the morning, it's pretty much gone away. Unless I don't sleep that well the night before. And every night I'm not sleeping great. I have kids sometimes. I think one of them got sick during this process. I'm a little sick now. So a couple days ago, I didn't sleep that well the other night. And just because of coughing and dry throat, different stuff. But yeah, that's the main stuff I can think of physically that has changed. Yeah, everything's just a lot better these days, physically and emotionally. I was never an emotional wreck. I say that on these videos, like emotionally and depression and sadness. I was never that emotional guy, crying all the time. But my emotions are they just seem like they're back at baseline. You know what I mean? If something makes me choke up a little bit, it's for a reason. It's not like just something silly out of nowhere. Like it's a good reason. There's nothing wrong with getting emotional every now and then. That's good. It's a good sign. But yeah, everything just seems like it's just going well. Everything is going well, going in a great direction in my life. And I've been trying, not that I wasn't doing well in my life before, because I was actually, in the past 3 to 4 years, my projection has been going up for sure in life. Me, my wife, my kids, my family, everything has been steadily getting better and better and better the past 3 or 4 years. Even during COVID, believe it or not. And it was to a point where, me and my wife's relationship we were doing well. Kids in sports, our faith, everything was going well, but I was still using kratom heavily. And I just knew I needed to stop. I just knew it. In my head, I would be in church and the pastor would be like, if there's something on your mind that you're struggling with, give it to God. Give it to God and start turning it around today. And he would, he'd bring that up every few weeks, every couple weeks. And that was just every week, bam, on my mind, bam, on my mind, kratom, kratom, kratom. And so when I finally quit, I said, I know I got to go through this hard period. It's probably going to be about 2 weeks to a month. It's going to be rough. Went through it. And man, it's so worth it. It's crazy. I knew that's what I needed to do, and that's what I did. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that we know what we need to do. You sit down on your bed before you go to sleep or in the morning, don't look at your phone. Just sit there and say, what's the main thing in my life that's kind of holding me back from doing better or being where I want to be? And for me, it was Kratom. No doubt about it. 1,000%. That's what it was. And it's not rare for people to take action on the things that they want to change in life, the stuff that they want to make better. But I think it's it's so hard for us to make a big change like that. And as far as my life isn't totally different. I'm basically doing the same things now that I was then. I'm living my life, but it's just different. Like I told you guys, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, I've grown a lot in 50 days from stopping kratom, and I just can't wait to grow more. So you know, everybody that's commenting on these videos that's struggling to quit kratom, if a lot of people have been commenting saying that my earlier videos are really helping them out. Because of course, you got to go through those first few weeks, and I documented pretty well my first few weeks. So I'm glad that those are helping everybody, and I'm yeah, I'm really glad that those could help you guys out. Because it's weird, but they helped me out. There's I think it was my third video, and that was I felt my worst during that video. I think it was 24 hours in. I was 24 hours in. I had quit. Took my last dose 24 hours prior to that video. And I felt horrible. It was a mix of withdrawals, and I took a ton of what was it? Withdrawal medication, Lucimira. I took some anxiety medication. I took melatonin. Um, yeah, I took a bunch of stuff to knock me out so I can go to sleep, get some sleep. Well, the withdrawals were a little too intense for me to go to sleep. So, yeah, that's when I felt my worst. And for some reason, I said I should document this right now. I think it was a quick video, and I said, "Oh, don't do kratom. Don't do this shit. Pray for me." Cuz at that moment, man, I was saying a lot of prayers. My wife was saying prayers. I needed God. And even though I had to go through the fire, you know, how do I put this? There's a little dog outside. Even though I had to go through the fire, God wasn't going to just take away all my pain. It's not the way it works. It goes back to, if you want courage, does God just give you courage? No, he puts you in situations in which you can be courageous. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. So to be stronger, you got to go through some hard stuff. So I had to go through it, and I went through it. He helped me through it. My wife and Angel helped me through it. I promise you, if you're trying to quit, you can go through it. Even if you don't have the perfect situation, you know what I mean? To me, it just felt like I was so blessed with everybody around me. But I know not everybody's as blessed as I am to have a lot of great people around me. But you can do it. 1,000%. You will do it. But you have to you have to make the jump first. You know what I mean? It's like I was telling my wife, the first time you walk to the high dive to jump off into the pool, it looks high and you're like, "Oh man, this is pretty high." It's worse if you wait 5 minutes and you're going back and forth and rubbing your hands like, "Oh, I don't know about this." If you walk up to the high dive and just jump, bam, you did it. You know, it's out of the way. That's fun for a lot of people, but a lot of people get real scared of heights, jumping off the high dive into the water. That's scary for them. And in my swimming class, you had to do that. You had to get to the high dive and jump off. And there was people that were like really terrified to get out, to jump off. And we make it worse on ourselves the longer we wait. I waited a long time to quit kratom, and my habit was just super heavy. So I suffered. And I see comments now that people are like, I'm using, 15 grams a day and I'm scared to go through the withdrawals. Like, it's going to suck for sure. But, if you were using 40 grams, you got down to 15, like, man, take the jump. You're there. Like, you're there. I promise you. Even if you're taking 80 grams a day, jump. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to suck 1,000%. It's going to suck. And whether you want to do it in a detox facility or a rehab center or at home, you know what I mean? If I had to give any advice, I would say if you can do it at home and you get through, and this is Kratom I'm talking about. If you can do it at home, I would say do that. I would say stay away from sleeping pills, anxiety medication. Lucimyra tore me up. I wouldn't suggest taking that. Might help some people. Didn't help me. And what I'm talking about is the first stages. 3 or 4 days, don't take anything. You know what I mean? Especially at night. You'll get less sleep, but the pain won't be as intense. It's a lot more manageable. And then once you got through 3 or 4 days and you didn't take anything, maybe you can get through another 3 or 4 days without taking anything. Now you're at 6 to 8 days without anything. And then you're like, okay, sleep is still not there. My energy is not there. Throw a workout in during the day. Throw a workout in. You're going to get through, let's say you get to day 12 and you're like, you know what? I'm feeling a lot better. And I slept 4.5 hours last night straight. And then I slept another hour and a half after that, after I woke up a few times. Sleep's getting a little bit better. Then before you know it, you have more energy during the day. Another week has gone by. It's day 18, 19. And then you're like, I have a little more energy during the day. Man, I can't stress enough how worth it is to quit these vices that we have. Any vice you have, stop it. And it's so rewarding. So rewarding. And you feel so good about yourself. But I'll stop rambling. Y'all have a good day. Day 50, 51. We're still going strong.